A couple of weeks ago, I watched the last season of Ginny and Georgia. Just to give you a context, this series is about the intense relationship between a mother, her daughter, and the people in their life. Intense being a key word of this series. I'll just leave it at that because this video is not about the show itself, but rather about a specific character called Abby, who's been struggling with bulimia and what appears to be body dysmorphia. Abby's story has been going on in the background throughout seasons 1 and 2, where we could often see scenes of her coming out of the bathroom having just thrown up, taping her thighs in order to make them appear smaller, not eating for many hours at a time, and hiding food in her closet. Nobody seems to notice what she's doing, but in this season, season 3, one of her friends, Ginny, catches her coming out of the bathroom having just thrown up, and she decides to confront her about it with their friend Nora. Now, this scene made me extremely emotional, and not because it was particularly great. To be honest, I think there's a lot of problems with it, but because I couldn't help but relate it to the time when I was confronted about my bulimia by my own family. Because of that, it brought up a lot of memories, and I felt driven to write about it and create a video about it because I wanted it to reach people who A, are not struggling themselves with bulimia but want to confront somebody who is, or people who are struggling themselves with bulimia and are thinking about talking about it with somebody in the hope that it will help them recover. Regardless of who you are, I hope that you find value in this video. Before we dive into the confrontation scene, I quickly want to talk about the scene where Ginny tells Nora that she thinks they should talk to Abby. She says something like, "I think we should be gentle about it so she knows that she can talk to us." And the reason I love this so much is because they weren't coming from a place of, hey, let's lecture her, let's get her to stop this horrible behavior that she's doing, like, oh my God, how could she be doing this? We need to make her stop, we need to make her better, etc. They were rather approaching it from a place of, let's open up a space for her that she can talk freely to us. Let's give her this opportunity to talk to us, have a conversation, and be there for one another. So I love this, and I think it's very important, and I'll talk about why as we move through the scene. The confrontation starts with Nora blurting out to Abby, "Are you bulimic?"
Are you bulimic? No. What? No?
Never do that. Even if you have the best intention, when you're talking to somebody who has bulimia and you're asking them flat out, "Are you bulimic?" This is like a slap to the face for somebody to hear. And I think that the actress who played Abby portrayed this very well because she physically, you can see her like physically deter when she was saying, "What? No, what?" I have a feeling that Nora said it like that because it's uncomfortable for her to be saying these words and she wants to get it over with as fast as possible and move the conversation along. And I can totally understand that. But please, for the love of everything that's holy, if you're confronting somebody who's struggling with bulimia, make sure that you are yourself are okay with it first, that you had time to process it, because you don't want to make this about you, because this isn't about you. This is about the other person. And you need to be prepared for the fact that this person might not want to talk to you. They might even say hurtful things to you. They might deter from you. They want to get away from you. They might ask you to leave. They might even say things that will be hurtful to you, and you need to be respectful of that. You need to be respectful of what they want because you are not at all in a position to tell them what they should or shouldn't do or to push them in any way. You need to understand that just because you see someone engaging in a behavior that seems harmful to them, they might not see it the same way. They might not be ready to do something about it or even talk about it. It takes time, and most importantly, it takes willingness to get there. Even if you put on your most empathetic smile, you talk to us with your gentlest tone, and you invite us to talk with open arms and an open heart, we might still not want to talk to you, simply because we're not there yet. And trust me, we know that what we're doing is wrong, but there's a reason why we keep doing it, even if that reason is not known to us yet. This reason lives in our subconscious, and unless we are ready to face it and do something about it, it will always win against any logic. So we keep self-destructing. We don't actively think about the fact that we're self-destructing, but we keep doing it. We sort of live in selective denial that is meant to keep us safe from shame. So if you point it out to us, if you put it in front of our faces and tell us to do something about it, you make it real. And because we are not ready to see it, we will deny it. This is why Abby says, "What? No, this is so weird." Like, she can't believe what she's hearing. Like, what is this ridiculous thing that you're telling me? Where did you even come up with that? I remember when I was confronted about my bulimia, I said something along the lines of, "Ew, this is so disgusting. Do people actually do that?" I would never do that. What, do you think I'm stupid? And on it went. Ginny says to Abby, we are not judging you. And I love this part because the last thing that the confronted person needs to feel is judged. No matter how much you judge us, we are judging ourselves more. So we don't need this added judgment on top of it. We think that we are not normal for doing what we're doing. We think that we are the only people in the world who are doing it. And because of that, we feel extreme shame. It's another reason why it is so hard to admit it. So if we even smell a hint of judgment coming from you, we will never open up to you. And then come my favorite part of the scene where Ginny and Nora share with Abby everything that they are ashamed of and everything that they are struggling with.
I self-injure. I used to. I haven't in a while. I burned myself with a lighter, so no judgment.
Whoa, what is happening right now?
I have herpes.
Well, it's more of a cold sore and it comes when I get stressed.
This is extremely important because it shifts the dynamic from we have the upper hand, we are the normal ones here, we are sort of standing on a higher ground and you need to become better so you become normal like us, to we have shit going on as well. We have flaws as well. And we are right here with you. There's nothing wrong with you. Let's have a conversation about it and talk to each other because we all need one another. This is key for getting someone to open up because it not only tells them that you're not judging them, but it shows them. And this is why Abby eventually feels comfortable enough to share it with them.
Fine. I make myself throw up sometimes.
But notice something important. Abby says, I make myself throw up sometimes in a choked up tone. You can actually hear her holding back tears. And she smirks kinda in the end and gives this awkward smile, shrugs her shoulders, kinda to say this is not a big deal. All the while she's speaking extremely fast in what I think is an effort to end the conversation as fast as possible. You can see that she feels relieved for a second, but then Nora asks her, does your mom know? And to that Abby answers, no, and she doesn't need to know because she has it all under control and she can stop whenever she wants.
Does your mom know?
Ew, no, she doesn't need to know because it's totally under control and I can stop whenever I want, which I will now because this is so embarrassing.
To be honest with you, when I first heard this, I couldn't help but give a smile a little bit. Not because I was, making fun of her or anything like that, but because as somebody who struggled with bulimia for 15 years, I know very well that when somebody says, I have it under control, they very much don't have it under control. But the thing here, I don't really think that Abby is lying or trying to give up any pretenses because she hasn't really tried to stop before. She doesn't really see anything wrong with what she's doing because, as I said, there's a reason why she's doing it. And she hasn't tried to stop before, so she actually doesn't know if she can or cannot stop. Stopping requires desire, a willingness to get better. And I don't think she was there yet. But even after saying that, Ginny still doesn't let her off the hook, and she confronts her with the fact that she saw her coming out of the bathroom after throwing up. To that, Abby answers that something that her dad said made her feel sick. Now, this could be true, not in the sense that something that her dad said actually made her physically nauseated, but rather what her dad said made her upset. And her way to deal with tough emotions is to throw up. I don't know for sure, of course, I'm just speculating, but I'm speculating based on my own experience because I used to turn to bulimia, to binging and purging, because it was my way to deal with discomfort. I didn't know how to handle hard emotions, even boredom sometimes. And this is what I would turn to relieve my pain. And I think this is the same for Abby. And after all what is said and done, Abby says, please stop. I'm okay, I'm fine. And this is embarrassing.
Seriously? I am fine. I really appreciate this self-help shit show, but please stop. I'm okay.
She's literally begging at this point to stop the conversation. I personally think this is one of the most important interactions in the scene because even though Abby admitted to the fact that she makes herself throw up, she's still not ready to talk about it because this admission was forced out of her. It didn't come from her. It wasn't her desire to talk about it. It was something that she was confronted with and had to share. You can tell that Ginny doesn't believe her, but she doesn't push any further. And I think this is important because it shows Abby that she is not judging her and that she respects her wishes. You can never ever force someone to change if they themselves are not ready to change. It has to come from them first. Otherwise, they will shower you with excuses and promises, and they will say anything to you to make you stop talking and to ease your mind. At this point, they are more worried about you than themselves, so try to help them out here. Try to remember that this is not about you. Being confronted about my bulimia by my family members was honestly one of the most traumatizing things that ever happened to me. I wrote about it on my Substack, and it's not open for everybody to read. It's under a paywall because it's extremely personal to me. Honestly, I wrote it and I published it because I wanted people who are seeking out something like this to be able to find it. All that confrontation did was inform me that I needed to find a better way to hide my bulimia, and that I could never ever talk to my family members about any struggle I have ever in my life, because I felt extremely judged by them. I felt like something was wrong with me, that the way they were looking at me and scrutinizing me while they were confronting me, it felt like I was like a problem that they just wanted to go away. I didn't feel supported whatsoever. So if you're someone who wants to confront a loved one about their bulimia struggles, please don't, at least not directly. Open up to them, share your own struggles with them, share whatever is on your mind with them, even when it's not pretty. Let them know that you are a judgment-free zone and that you're there for them. Because when they're ready, they will come to you. They will know that you are a safe space, and they will come willingly from themselves to talk to you. But please don't expect anything from them. Don't expect that just because you're sharing something with them that they will share with you something as well. It's not like I tell you something, you tell me something in return. No, it takes a lot of time. So please be patient, okay? Be patient with them, let them come to you. Because again, if a person doesn't recognize that they have a problem and have the willingness and the desire to fix it, they will not want to do anything about it. Think about your own life. Whenever you make a big change in your life, it's because you want to change something that you're doing, because you're not satisfied with your life at the moment. You realize that this thing that you're doing is what's messing up your life, and you want to get rid of it in order to live a happier life. So this process also needs to happen for them. If they are not seeing this thing that they're doing as a problem, even if you do, even if you know better, if you want them just to be healthy, they might not care at this moment about their health. They care about something else, about this need that this addiction is fulfilling for them. You have to respect that and understand that. So again, be patient, let them come to you, because you cannot make someone care. They have to care about their life and about their well-being themselves in order to want to fix it. And if you're someone who's struggling with bulimia and you're thinking about telling someone about it because you think it will fix it, I'm sorry to say that you are in for a big disappointment, because no one can fix your bulimia for you. You have to have a reason for wanting to recover. Abby telling her friends about it didn't help her stop. You could see her at the end of the episode going to the bathroom, looking at the stalls, thinking about going to purge, but then leaving and then coming back and entering one of the stalls. When I turned 30, I reached out to a therapist because I wanted to recover from bulimia, or so I thought. Actually, when I look back at it, I realized that I just didn't want to be struggling with bulimia in my 30s. It wasn't actually about wanting to recover, if that makes sense. So after a couple of sessions, I quit because I couldn't afford therapy and my bulimia, and I chose my bulimia over it. No one can free you from bulimia. Coaches and therapists can give you tools and help you look at things in a different perspective and teach you some mindset tricks. But you are the one who's going to be using those tools and making those changes and applying those new ways of thinking. The key to your recovery is within you, and you alone. Once you feel committed to your recovery and are ready to talk about it, make sure that you do this with the right person, a person who you know will support you. To be honest with you, the first person that I willingly told about my bulimia was my therapist, and though she was a lovely person, she wasn't really the right fit for me. I only chose to work with her because she was, had the right price, she had the credentials, she seemed fine. But I didn't take the time to talk with other therapists, see maybe there's a better match, maybe there's something, they could support me in a different way. Because I needed somebody to, kick my ass. I needed somebody who will look me in the eye and give it to me straight. I like this kind of very direct approach. I know this is not for everybody, but I like when people give it to me straight and don't try to sugarcoat things for me or try to please me or whatever it is. Sometimes coaches, they wanna, do whatever they can to try to compliment you and support you, and I needed somebody to really just give me the truth. I always value truth over everything. So looking back, if I would choose a therapist now, I would really take my time to, as they say, shop around, talk to different people, see actually how the person is, because what I care most about right now is the person's humanity and values over anything, to be honest. Credentials are great, but they don't really mean anything to me. PhDs, whatever it is. It's nice. Like, I mean, I'm not like belittling it, but it's not really something that I personally look for. I look more for curiosity and experience. So what are you reading? What retreats did you go to? Who did you learn from? Why that person? Stuff like that. And this takes time. It takes time to find the right person for you. If you made it this far in the video, I would love to extend an invitation to you. If you are ready to talk about your bulimia and you're ready to recover from it and you would like to talk to somebody who's partial about it, you are free to book a call with me. It's free, it's non-binding. I'm just here to talk. So find the link in the description and I look forward to hear from you soon. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I really appreciate you being here. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.